The United States and India continue to chart an ambitious course for the initiative on critical and emerging technology. But is there a lull in India-US relations? My colleague Maha Siddiqui caught up with the former US ambassador to India, Tim Roemer. Here's what he told NDTV.
I have with me the former US ambassador to India, Timothy Roemer here. Many thanks for speaking with NDTV.
My pleasure. Nice to be with you again.
Thank you, Ambassador Roemer. My first question is with regards to the number of countries that are in election mode this year or have finished their elections like in India, but the US continues to be in the campaign mode at this moment. So are we likely then to see some sort of a lull in the relationship between India and US till the end of this year when the elections in the US get over, even as we are seeing the US NSA Jake Sullivan in India at the moment?
Well, listen, I do not think you're going to see a lull in the relationship. I think you're going to continue to see opportunities to deepen it, strengthen it, improve it. But back to the elections, which I think is a fascinating topic. About 4 billion people in the world are voting this year in elections. The people of India just voted. What a great sign to the world that democracy works, that they carried it off without a hitch, and that there was no claim of fraud or corruption in the election. Everybody accepted the results, and a coalition government was formed. And now there's every opportunity for the U.S. and India, whoever is elected in their great country and in our country, to continue this strategic relationship that is only going to continue to improve and deepen as the defining relationship of the 21st century moving forward.
So currently, as Jake Sullivan is in India, the focus is on ISET, the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology. How do you see the two countries progressing on this aspect? And I want to specifically want you to answer a question about whether the elements within ISET, for instance, supply chain, for instance, semiconductors, are they in some sense giving us an indication that this relationship perhaps is based on the commonality of an adversary, China, or does it stand on its own?
It stands on its own. Certainly there's a convergence, a strategic convergence between the United States and India with respect to China's threat to both of our countries. And so that has had us sit down and work with each other a little bit more intently. But what is so unique and so special about the U.S.-India relationship is the broader question of people-to-people ties, of sharing democratic values, of so many Indians traveling to the United States and staying here and becoming part of our system, whether they're CEOs or whether they're running for office, and contributing to growing our economy and creating jobs and businesses here in the United States that strengthen not just the United States as a world power, but the relationship between the two. Now, there will be a lot of opportunities moving forward between the two countries. Supply chains are shifting around the world. Not only are many going out of China or new ones not going into China, some are homeshore to America, some may go to India or Vietnam, some may go to Mexico with the election of their new president down there, who won resoundingly with 60% of the vote and can get a lot done, possibly economically, between the United States and Mexico. But there's also the technology component here. The United States has decided we can't share our technology with China. That is going to be a fierce competition moving forward. We can share it with India. So in AI, in quantum computing, in chip making, in all kinds of areas, from the moon, and congratulations to India for its landing on the moon, to the deep oceans. There are many opportunities for us to work together there. And then you have AUKUS, which was nuclear submarine cooperation between Australia, the UK, and the United States. What's AUKUS 3.0 look like? Cables underneath the sea, more AI. Does India get into that in the future? Is that an opportunity for India to get into AUKUS 4.0? All kinds of opportunities moving forward, including human skilling and education issues that bring our two countries together.
Do you think that India would perhaps wait and watch as far as the indication you're giving on AUKUS, considering that it hasn't shown any indication of being part of a sort of a military grouping. Remember Quad, it was dormant for almost a decade before India and Japan finally got into it in Australia.
There are many ways to start to see if there's compatibility for a 4.0 AUKUS between the United States and India and other countries. As you mentioned previously, Jake Sullivan is currently in India meeting with Ajit Doval and Minister Jaishankar to talk about where does this technology fit. We're now doing joint production of fighter airplane engines together, helicopter Apache engines, howitzers. The platforms are expanding and improving. Where does that lead us later on? And what possibilities are there? Quad gives us the opportunity. If you had told me or most Americans involved in our national security 10 years ago that the United States would be docking naval ships in ports in India, those would be almost seamlessly interoperable and going through repairs and all kinds of improvements, nobody would have thought that was possible. And again, we have that happening as we speak. So there are all kinds of things there that look for new avenues for improvement and deepening this trajectory going forward. There will be challenges in the relationship, and the wonderful thing about the U.S.-India relationship is so far, we've been able to talk through our challenges, whether that be Russian oil, whether that be a human rights issue, whether that be a disagreement on a Ukraine issue. Those things have been artfully, diplomatically, and strategically managed.
Ambassador Timothy Roemer, thanks for speaking with NDTV.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.